Okay, so let's get that one first. Fractionators. Actually, we kind of want... want the processors over here. So what if we get those... Depends whether you want to build that way or that way. I guess you want to build that way. You spent 16 hours getting a production chain set up for organic crystals just for that. Wow. 16 hours? Holy smoke, dude. So I'm thinking we can have... Oh, we don't need many anyway, do we? Once it's filled up, it's filled up. Two will do, I guess. Have you seen what? The short bridge trick? Yes, but I don't want to use it. Because I'm pretty confident that at some point the devs are going to patch that out. And then all your factories are going to break. It's like... too risky. Like, just because something's possible in an early access game, you know, you got to weigh that up against the risk of, well, do we think the dev might just take that back out again? Because was that really meant to happen? Having objects clearly glitch into other ones? You only have to look at what they do in splitters and the bounding box around it to realize that they never meant you to lower bridges to the point where the conveyor belts are like the goods are clipping into each other. Takes so much time to build. Well, there is that. I just think it's a risk. I don't know how many they stack. So, if we get... Like, what... Is there, like, has somebody worked out how many of these things you put down to be more efficient? Or can you literally just have a planet surrounded by fractionators and blue belt going between them? I guess if your blue belt's moving 30 per second and that was filled with hydrogen. I don't know. The more the merrier. Fair enough. It's properly modelled. Thing is, though, Mandrill, if they meant for that to happen, I kind of think they would have done what City Skylines did when you're building roads, where you can like shuffle a level between. It either snaps between like unit heights, or you can toggle it and have it move in steps. You can change the step height, basically. I would have thought they would have done that with the belt. Maybe they plan to. I'm not saying they will patch it out. I'm saying I don't want to risk my factory being broken if they do. You got a new PC last week, now you can play Microsoft Flight Sim and Ultra. Nice one, the racer. Right, they're stacking 20s. Let's take 80 of them and a bunch of blue belt and go make some magic. It's a decent plot of land. So all that hydrogen is being whisked away. Resume it to this thing. Actually, this is the thing we're going to replace, I think. Dogfight, thank you for 30 months. The computer default is a high end. I haven't pushed it to ultra properly to handle it. To be honest, high end's still pretty good. I'd rather have a higher frame rate than have like a low frame rate with ultra. We'll stop stealing loads of hydrogen for a kickoff. Really game. Maximum 5,000 in storage 5,012. Okay, game. I don't have a 3090 Ulman. I haven't had it fitted yet. Right, is that starting to pile up? Yes, there you go. So it's not taking all the hydrogen now. So what we can do instead is we'll bring hydrogen out of here. And we'll chuck the resultant deuterium into here. And we'll build an array. So it's just generally a circuit, isn't it? We bring the hydrogen in, and we put it on a fast conveyor belt, and we spin the result. So you have it kind of coming in. Let's put it there. No, SnowRunner's going to continue tomorrow, Heapster. So I prioritize the input from here, so it doesn't add more hydrogen unless it needs it. And then, let's see. Fractionator passes things through. And then we just export the result. Jobs are good. You want to build smaller circuits or the end machines are inefficient. Okay. So how many do we put in a circuit? Has anybody worked it out? Because we're just going to run it around on a loop. When they split and find a deuterium, what happens to the hydrogen? Does it get consumed? Because according to that equation there, it says 1 hydrogen has a 1% chance of becoming a deuterium. And then it says 10 hydrogen into 5 deuterium over 5 seconds, which I presume is the particle thing. You had 8 in a circuit with a single feed. That doesn't sound like a lot. So you literally do... You're basically doing like this. And that's one of your circuits. So then it becomes a matter of feeding that, right? So you're doing that kind of thing. And 8 is nothing. You have 8 times 10 linked up. So you have what do you... Okay, so explain that to me, Noor. If you've got one of these, how are you linking the next one up? What are you doing to chain these? Then have another one in parallel to get a similar output to the particle colliders. Give it to a mod or ask for a mod to permit your link. No, it'll get purged by default. Like, I did heaps, yeah. You can have multiple loops, so you can always attach more factories to this one. I've not tried it, Heapster. Pup's tried it and says he's played worse snooker games. That's what he said. Fractionator, let's see. Hydrogen input, splitter. Some brilliant guys in the... Oh, that looks very complex. I need to have a read through that. Hydrogen output to next row. Oh, so by oh, I see. So by default, it runs on the circuit. So I see. So the priority is set to loop on the splitters. I wonder where the hydrogen input goes. It goes on to the next row. Alright, let's see if we can build one. So what that diagram's basically saying is... We get rid of this for a second. Thanks, game. Thanks for the massive hitbox. Oh my god, look at... I hate the hitbox on this thing. Look at that. You try and, like, delete anything. The wrong pixel. Slightly wrong pixel, and you end up with disaster. So what this does is it has splitters on each of these corners like that. So then there's a circuit there. And a circuit there. And that can carry on. And that comes in. God's sake. That comes in that way. But the key to it lies in the fact that you then... Let's create a loop here. Got to get this right way around, haven't I? So you got to feed back. I think I've got that right. Then over here, you do that. So stuff comes in, but then what you do is you've got two inputs, and you say, this is a priority input and this is a priority output. So by default, anything that enters the splitter will by default jump back on that belt. So the priority is always to keep the loop running. So you do the same here as well, like that. So that circuit is always the priority. I think that's what it's saying, like that. And then anything else, any surplus, any extra is passed on. So what you can then do is build another one of these and like stick it here and have the same setup. And you just keep doing that. I think that's what that's saying. So this is where I really want to drag a box around this and say copy, paste. So then all you got to do is just feed the beasts, I guess. So get that out of the way for a second. So the other thing is obviously you need your output. So you get your output line. Just route it off somewhere. I think we said that's going to go. But deuterium, local supply, there we go. So you just export the deuterium there. Does anybody else not like that new PogChamp emote? I'm just not a fan of it. I know it got voted for, but I just find it meh. It's like a snake's head just going, but in this kind of, I don't know. It's the shape of it, I think. It's too pointy. Your deuterium outputs to the front. Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you go, does it? You can, actually, I can't remember. Is this a belt? Is that a belt output? Yes, it is. God, you have to be almost vertical because the hitbox on these things is so big. No. Like I'm trying to belt here, and that thing captured the hitbox because it is just massive. I could have absolutely been way more compact with that design. Yeah, but I was just drawing it out. You could definitely compact this. There is space here that doesn't need to be here. So I'm just thinking, the hydrogen is piling into here. We set that as a demand point. Hydrogen will always come here, won't it? The only thing I might do is I might reverse those up-down belts. It doesn't matter which way they go. I'm impressed it kept the filter. So if we now do that. Let's just see what happens. Andy G, thank you for 44 months. Yeah, so if you notice, like, nothing was coming out that way initially. It was chucking it all back on the belt, so the belt stays full. That's kind of cool. Right, let's build another one. Yeah, exactly. Now just repeat. Actually, no, it's fine. Thanks, Trucker J. Dummers, thank you for 44 months. So we'll just get rid of that for now. I guess my only question about this is what's the point of... We don't really need this, do we? Because we could just... I guess this will supply this array if you start going this way. Like that kind of thing. Yeah, the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is these loops here. As long as this circuit has priority, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which way these belts go. So as long as you do that. Game. Giant hitboxes for the win. Still doesn't have any power. Either split is prioritized, the Hydra runs into the fractionators and not just randomly swirls about. Well, that's what I've done. I'm pretty certain that's what I've done. So this is the only problem with trying to make a compact design, is you end up with this issue here. So the circuit is being prioritized. Even if I take a feed from there, it's fine. It's Fire Cashington, it's not, the issue is around the hitbox around this particular piece of machinery. It's far too big. So that's pretty much the most compact you can get. But the issue is you can't fit the power supplies in between. Whereas with this, if you lay it out a bit more, you can. I just wish there was a power supply that you could make like later in the game that has a much bigger reach on it. To be efficient, you need inputs on both sides of the loop. The problem is, nothing's coming down this belt. Like, nothing ever makes it past here and prioritizes that way. Is that because I'm supposed to be feeding both sides of the beast? Is that the issue here? That I should actually be splitting this and sending it down both input lines? Right. Well, we can easily fix that. PS4 Gamer, thank you for 73 months. There we go. That stuff is being flown away pretty quickly. I think the drones ships are just sitting there, just going nom 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 nom. Yeah, this beast. We need more of these. How many have we got left? That's not good. Oh, it's a particle collider. Oh, we've got 24. We can do another one. Might leave a bit more space in between though. He needs to go to the gas giant. Why? The gas giant is super local. We're next to a gas giant. That's too much. Oh my god. I don't get when your mecha gets knocked, like your screen gets knocked with it, and then your mouse gets knocked. See, if you leave a bit more space, it's actually a nicer design in the end, because you can put the power supplies. Yeah, we have a gas giant right next to us here, which has collectible deuterium and hydrogen here. So I guess we need to start making those collector things. You can continue the chain back down the other side now. Yep. No, Enceladus, don't do that. Bad idea. Wait. Right, so left and right. It's pretty sweet. It's interesting how you have to build a factory that relies on that 1%. So it's just a matter of scale, isn't it? It's like a 1% yield, but if you scale it up enough. Thing is, it says minimum load of vessels 100%. These things are flying off. Like constantly. I don't believe for 1 minute that they're full. Doesn't make any sense. We're not getting that much. Yeah. Those are drones, yes. I'm aware of that. But if you look, how many are actually out flying, and each one's carrying 70. And it's like a constant supply of them. I just feel like there's too many. See, I reckon you can back-to-back these. I reckon back-to-back them because they'll be supplied from power that's here on the belt. The trick really is the gap that you make here, I think. Yeah, as soon as this game allows blueprints, somebody's going to make a blueprint for this. For sure. Hi, gents. Wow, look at that now. What's weird is, like, you add another, like, array, and the hydrogen just goes, just fills the space, and then it just carries on, settles down, and outputs even more. It's crazy. The minimum load for drones is set at 10%. Oh, did... Now I understand what you were saying. That's better. Why is it default to 10%? That's just so bad. I don't like that. I don't like the way that... See, this kind of number here, this should not be for all drones in the station. This number should be next to each supply chain. Like, if I know that I'm not producing this very quickly, but I need a continual feed, I might set the drones to, say, 50% and just, you know, keep the drones moving, keep the regular flow, like, don't wait till full. But that supply chain might be completely different to this one. So I don't like the fact that this is per station. That this needs to be per supply chain, I think. Yeah, you can see the numbers filling up now. It's nice. So if we wanted to build another array next to it, what's the natural way to extend this? Like, do we have to split the feed again for 2 more input lines, or can we run off the back of this somehow? I mean, we could just keep building that way, but the land is starting to get, like, the grid's starting to come in. Bring the 2 endpoints down from the top. Yeah, it could do. Or I just route them this way and come back down again. It's probably the easiest way, I guess. So I guess what you would have is start your next loop here. Something like that. Did the devs say when they're going to actually add copy-paste to this game? Assume you should only put drones in the receiving place. No, you can put them in. I tend to just have them on being made and put them in both stations. Like, the drones are the limiting factor, aren't they? They haven't yet. Hang on, this is going to come down, isn't it? This is going to come down this way. Just possible of a major freeze in the first week of March. Model runs keep repeating the outputs. Oh, are you on about the weather, Mickey Learjet? Just to be clear. Are you on about like long-term forecast of weather? Mrs. Squirrel does that to me. Not the weather forecast. She's been thinking about something, right? And then she'll suddenly talk about that thing that she's been thinking about. And to me, I have no idea what she's been thinking about. So I'm not even in the same book, yet alone the same page. It's like this enormous context switch. And so you have to sort of take what she said and then reverse analyze it to what she might be talking about, and then be like, are you on about this? She does that all the time. It's unreal. I keep saying so. I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're thinking about. Oh yeah, it keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. Need more hydrogen. Dude! Let me explain how this game works. It's like the factory version of whack-a-mole, okay? So a problem comes up, and you hit it on the head, after about half an hour of faffing around. And then the game goes, aha! And something else pops up, and you go, aha, I've got you as well. Bosh. And then two other things go, aha! That's the game in a nutshell. So when I fix the problem with deuterium, I then have a problem with hydrogen. And then when I fix that problem, I'll have another problem. Or maybe two problems. And then something will run out somewhere, and I'll have 4 problems. And since the game isn't multiplayer, I can't fix more than one problem at a time. Oh, this is good. Look how squashed this is. Oh my god. I don't even think this is gonna... Oh, you power pole of doom. Would it not be faster and more efficient to build transport belts instead of using drones? Well, that's a philosophical question. You see, some people swear by the drones and rather have them instead of spaghetti belts, as they call it. I don't subscribe to that philosophy. Because I think you have more control and more visibility with belts than you do with drones. Having said that, drones can really help move things around, particularly any kind of distance. So I say they both have a place in your factory. Why are you not? Endpoint must be horizontal. What? You what, mate? Right, can I just flatten this and it'll just go away? Why am I... Oh my god. Oh my god. How did that happen? It's a funny thing because there are no shadows in this game. Have you noticed this? There are no shadows, so you can't physically notice that this belt is actually higher than I wanted it to be. And then no doubt is this belt. Yes, it is. And then probably this belt as well. And maybe... Oh, that one's fine. The drones are not going very far. So the drones are not going very far because the deuterium demand is not that far away. However, to belt them over there would be a little bit messy. Generally speaking, there's no right way of doing something. Because there's always another way, and sometimes it'll have an advantage over the one you did. But yeah, I would like to see the devs focus on quality of life stuff. The last one they added with the upgrade belts and deleting of belts, that was just, oh my god, thank you so much. But I think copy-paste is the next big one. And then blueprints. And they should just do that, in my opinion, before they carry on, like, building the game out. Because right now, they've got people running around just handcrafting every single item. There's a mod for it, Millie. A mod for what exactly? Copy-paste or... I heard it was a bit hit and miss, though. Mikey, NZ, thank you for 9 months. I heard it was a little bit hit and miss. Okay, we now have a hydrogen issue. But we'll sort that out for after this. So we want the output of that to go around there. And then the output of that... and go around there. This is the one that we can't fit anything in. Okay, right. Now, we'll solve the hydrogen problem. Might have to go to the other planet where we're exporting fire ice. Let's have a look what's going on with the fire ice. Northern Alex, how you doing? Thank you for 69 months, sir. Hope you're well. How many days now, Alex? How many days? Actually, it's not a fire ice problem. Maybe we just need more of these. So we just build loads more of these. I think the fire ice supply is absolutely fine. We just need 1 billion of these now. So if we build another stack on the other side. Make some more stuffs. You had a little play with the new engine Stoneworks. You kind of need a guide to actually build them for the first time. Yikes. Yikes. What are you producing hydrogen at the refineries? Yeah. But this is not efficient anyway, so we'll get some more of these. Don't think we're making chem plants. Need to fill this up. Chem plant requires circuit board, steel, stone, and... So that's pretty much everything that needs, apart from you swap circuit board for processors. And we've got circuit boards. Oh, we've got circuit boards. We could make chem plants easily. We had circuit boards. Which I know we have. 11 days, Alex. Yay, yay, yay. There you go. I knew we had circuit boards. Oh, that was the hang... yeah. That's supposed to be a processor feed, though. I think we can weave a bit of spaghetti in here. Look at that. expert spaghetti weaving. So instead of these, hang on. Let's make that go. I might have to move this. I think I was producing hydrogen at refineries though. But I think the problem with the refineries is that they may have stopped because the oil wasn't being consumed, because the plastic wasn't being consumed, because something else, because we're not sciencing properly. And we can't really science properly until we get green science, which needed all the work of the last few hours to get the green eggs. It's all about the green eggs. I think that would have been a mistake, Captain Flint. Don't you think? That would have been a bad thing for both of us, I think. Right, we'll put that there instead. And we'll take that. We'll do that. Okay. Yep, green eggs and ham, exactly. Right, so this is going to make chem plants instead. There we go. Sneaky. You don't like green eggs and ham? Okay. We'll take a tack of 20 and run over though. Let's get some more belts while we're here. And some of those. So Alex, are you more excited than nervous, or more nervous than excited? How are you feeling? Let's get that lock. It seems to switch daily. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. To be fair. Now then, do we just pump the output straight into here? That's the question. That graphene is backed up.